and welcome to the Actual Tech Media EcoCast. My name is Jess, and I am excited to be here with you all today. But before we jump into our content, I have some basic information that I want to cover with you. All right, let's kick off our day here today by taking a quick tour of your audience console. And we're going to start with the questions window. So if you haven't already said hi, there is a whole audience of cool humans out there, so reach out and give a wave to the other members of the Actual Tech Media community. Now, keep in mind that if you do have any technical issues today, a browser refresh is going to fix just about anything. But if those tech gremlins are clinging on today, no problem. Just throw a comment in the question section and our crew will be there to help. We also want this to be an informative webinar for you, so throughout today's EcoCast, we hope you'll get engaged and ask all your burning questions. Not only will we have team members responding to you over a live chat, we will also have a dedicated Q&A session at the end of our presentations. Now, if we don't get to your question during the live webinar today, don't worry, because the awesome experts that we have here with us will be following up after we wrap. All right, next up, there's going to be lots of cool aha moments on the EcoCast today. And if you want to share those with your community, we've made it nice and easy for you. You can use the Twitter button right there on your audience console, and the hashtag for today's EcoCast will be automatically added to your post. All right, our last stop on this guided tour, be sure to check out the handouts tab for some awesome resources and takeaways from our speakers here today. We have an info pack collection, solution briefs, white papers, data sheets, free trials, ebooks, upcoming webinars, and more. So many great resources, so be sure to go explore. Now, if that wasn't enough fun, we also have some exciting prizes that we'll be giving away throughout today's EcoCast. I'm going to tell you a bit more about those later on, but a few quick reminders for you all. First, you do need to be here live in attendance at the EcoCast in order to qualify to win a prize, and we will follow up with all of you after we wrap. Now, all winners must submit an IRS Form W-9 to Actual Tech Media, and all winners must meet the Actual Tech Media prize terms and conditions. Now, if you don't know what those full T's and C's are, that's fine. We've got the full thing for you. Just head on over to that handouts tab, click in, scroll down to the bottom, and you'll find them waiting for you there. Now, the absolute most important thing to remember is that we love getting all your insightful questions during these live webinars. In fact, we love it so much that we actually have a special additional prize for all you inquisitive folks out there. So in today's EcoCast, we will be giving away a prize for the best question asked in each of our live sessions. Now, the expert speakers and teams will review all questions asked after we wrap the webinar, which means that even if your question does not get read out in a live session, there is still a chance to win. If you are a lucky winner here today and you would like to donate the value of your prize, we have several wonderful organizations that we partner with. So let us know when we follow up about your big win, and we'll get that rolling for you. Again, we are so happy to have you all here with us live at the EcoCast today, and we want to keep that good feeling going, so let's connect on social media. Reach out and connect with Actual Tech Media on Twitter and on LinkedIn. We have lots of great content, and we always want to hear from you. Now, if you're looking for more awesome content and resources right after we wrap the EcoCast today, be sure to subscribe to the Actual Tech Media channel on YouTube. Another fun way to win a prize and, hey, grow this awesome community is to refer an industry friend or a coworker to the Actual Tech Media webinar series. Now, you'll find a link to do that right in your handouts tab, and you will also be automatically redirected at the end of the webinar. And both you and your coworker or friend could win a prize, and we hold those drawings every month. So be sure to refer a friend because, it could quite literally be a win-win situation. Next, we have a cool opportunity for all the decision makers out there to get connected with new and emerging tech and innovative vendors. Here's how it works. All you need to do is click on the link in your handouts tab, fill out a quick application, and the Actual Tech crew will then match you with some vendors that we think you should probably be chatting with based on your needs. There will also be fun opportunities that you get to choose to join in, like surveys, test runs, new solutions, extended demos, and so on. You'll get some chances to win extra prizes, you'll chat with great people, and you'll learn about the hottest new trends in tech. So be sure to apply, or hey, send that link to a decision maker on your team. Now, I want to take a quick minute here to remind you all about one of my favorite resources, and that is ransomware.org. You can find out everything you need to know about ransomware, how to prepare, prevent, and recover. This site is jam-packed with information, helpful tips, checklists, strategic approaches, case studies, everything you need in one place. So wherever you are in your ransomware preparedness journey, there is something for you at ransomware.org. Go check it out and start exploring. All right, I have one more exciting resource I have to tell you about today, and that is the Gorilla Guide Book Club. It's going to give you access to free enterprise IT books authored by top industry experts, so you can stay up to date on trending enterprise technology. And yes, these books will work on your Kindle, your mobile device, and as I said, they are completely free. You can download these awesome resources at gorilla.guide, and there's a link for you in that Handouts tab as well. All right, well, we have covered a lot of important things already, and I don't know about you all, but I am excited to dive in. So let's get going. All right, folks. Well, it is time to jump into the good stuff here, because today we are talking about DevOps and DevSecOps, tools that power the modern IT department. And this is going to be such a great day today, because not only are we going to explore the whys and the hows of DevOps and DevSecOps, we are going to spend some time hanging out with the amazing humans at Keeper Security. Now, some of you might remember that the last time I got to chat with Keeper Security, we did a Jelly Belly eating challenge with all of the insane flavors like dirty dish soap and dead fish. Yep, that was a real thing that I really ate. Yep. So just having some flashbacks here while we think about that. But I am hoping that today they have something a little bit less disgusting, but just as fun for us to play while we learn some cool stuff. So stay tuned, get excited for our chat with Keeper Security. Keeping things rolling here, I want to start by saying hi and introducing myself if we haven't already gotten to meet. My name is Jess Steinbach. I'm a moderator here at Actual Tech Media. Now, my fellow moderator, Scott Becker, is going to join us on live chat, and Keith Ward and David Davis will be here to talk to me in just a moment. But before we bring them out for our keynote, let's talk about prizes. Now, I know you're all waiting for that. Today on the EcoCast, you could win one of three $300 Amazon gift cards. And as I mentioned in the housekeeping chat this morning, you can find the full T's and C's linked in the Handouts tab. So if you have any questions about those terms and conditions, head on over to the Handouts tab, and they are waiting for you there. All right, well, we're going to keep things moving because... there it is. We have some awesome experts here to kick us off today. And that is, of course, my friends and fellow moderators here at Actual Tech Media, David Davis and Keith Ward. And we're just going to have a little bit of a conversation. We thought we maybe start with a bit of a chat about what DevOps actually is, what DevSecOps is, and what the ideas consist of, because I think sometimes before we jump into the terms, we need to make sure that we actually know what we're talking about, right? All right, so let's get David and Keith on out here with me. Just one moment. Well, hey guys, and thanks so much for coming to hang out with us at the EcoCast today.
Great to be here.
Happy to be here.
All right, well, today I'm excited because we are getting to explore, it's a 2-for-1 EcoCast. We get two cool topics. We're going to talk about DevOps and we're going to talk about DevSecOps. So we're going to start with DevOps, and then we'll bring Keith on to talk to us a little bit more about DevSecOps. David, DevOps. This is where I want to get started here, because I think that there's a little bit of a gray area around this idea, and we hear it all the time, right? But when we think DevOps, are we thinking team? Are we thinking strategy, process, an approach? What? Give us a little bit of a foundation on what DevOps is and why it came into being.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll just be candid. I mean, I'm not a developer. I'm not a DevOps. I don't proclaim to be a DevOps expert, but I've read a lot. I've researched a lot. I've talked to a lot of different folks. And honestly, everything that I know or everything that I picture about how DevOps works comes from a book by Gene Kim called The Phoenix Project. And it's kind of like one of the must-read, DevOps books if you want to learn about DevOps. And the great thing about the book is it's not a just nonfiction, like encyclopedia, reading book. It's more like a fictional story of this organization. And there's the ops team and there's the development team, and the company is failing. And they have these, very monolithic groups that don't work together. And, there's this guy who's trying to make it work, but it's not. This consultant comes in, this friend, and helps them learn all about DevOps. And essentially the idea with DevOps is it's a methodology. It's not like you're fired from the ops team and the dev team, and now you work for the DevOps team. You still have these teams, but they're working together, so much better than ever before. They're doing things faster. They're doing things more efficiently. They have, security integrated in the process, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. But they're testing, they're developing code faster. They're testing that code faster. They're failing, fail fast and fail often, as the saying goes. So you can learn and you can use continuous integration and continuous delivery and just deploy these applications faster than ever before and innovate, really faster than ever before. And that's kind of the whole idea behind DevOps, is this efficient methodology for these groups to work together.
Okay, so I'm hearing two things. One is a great book recommendation. Can you repeat the title for everyone out there again?
Yeah, it's called The Phoenix Project by Gene Kim.
Okay, so there's your spring reading book list, the David Davis book list. And so the second one is the major problem that we were trying to solve with the creation of DevOps, again, being more of a methodology and approach, was that we had two teams that were working, often alongside each other, but not necessarily communicating. So is it, are we sharing tools? Is it communication only? Like, how do you know that you have a DevOps team and not just a dev team and an ops team?
It's it's kind of all of those things. One of the kind of key tenets of the book is that outcomes are what matter the most. Instead of these two groups getting stuck in their own little, worlds, only caring about their servers or only caring about their code, they're focused together on the work that's, most important for the company, the finished project and the innovation that the company needs. They're focused on continuous learning, continuous improvement, continuous innovation. And so, there's specific tools, a tool set, a long list of tools in the DevOps world that make all this possible.
If I can jump in here real quick, David, I might even go a little further than that, even going farther than saying the teams were separate. A lot of times there was antagonism between the teams. Mm-hmm. Developers, for instance, wonder, why do I have to wait a month or 2 months to get a new development environment set up on the server? And the operations team will be saying, why do they keep uploading insecure code to my servers? So there was sometimes real even hostility between the two. And these were bridges that had to be crossed. And I think that's a lot of what DevOps does.
That's a great point. Yeah, and the book covers a lot of those types of stories as well, sort of infighting, between the different groups.
Right.
So I'm hearing a bit of a mindset shift with some of this as well. And so maybe there's some cool change management sides to this too, and how you approach team meetings or communication flows and seeing each other as being most importantly and first and foremost on the same team instead of in this oppositional kind of zero-sum game of, if you're doing well, we're clearly, getting stuff thrown at us and vice versa. So I like that switch. And I think that is obviously has been really successful. I'm wondering then, and Keith, since you're here with us, and I want to see if you can help us kind of explore then why we felt that the next iteration of this from DevOps into DevSecOps was so important and sort of what was the goal and the problem that was trying to solve.
Yeah. So I think what has happened with the idea of DevOps is we have moved to the concept of agile development. So in the old days, an application was created, it was coded, it was programmed, and it could take a long time. You could have you could spend a year developing one application. And then it was released and then it would be updated, et cetera. DevOps reduces that time to sprints, agile development. You can have new code coming out weekly in some cases, if you have a lot of developers, or on a monthly basis, much more often. So when you had to integrate security into monolithic applications, just what happened was you would do that right at the end. And frankly, and I hate to say this, I have a lot of developer friends. I used to run some pretty big developer magazines, but developers did not think of security first. Very, very often security was a tacked on part that was added at the end. Well, with DevOps, that can't happen anymore. So DevSecOps, right? Development, security, operations, introduces security to the methodology by integrating assessments throughout the CI/CD, what David mentioned, the continuous integration, continuous deployment or development process. So it makes security a shared responsibility among all team members who are building software. It's not just the security team anymore that has to do this. So what happens now is the development team collaborates with the security team before they write code. So the operations team, for its part, continues to monitor the software for security issues after deploying it. So what happens now with this new idea is you can deliver these agile development methodologies with security baked in up front instead of being an add-on at the end. So security testing is no longer something that occurs when everything else is done, right? So here's an example. Security teams will set up a firewall to test intrusion into the application after it's been built. Okay. And then when they find holes, they may have to go back and re-architect big parts of the application. That does not make for a workable solution in the DevOps and the agile development era that we live in. So DevSecOps, for instance, when you're taking the firewall example, the security teams and developers collaborate to protect the user. So the security team, for example, will set up the firewall ahead of time. Programmers will design the code to prevent the vulnerabilities, and testers test all changes to prevent unauthorized third-party access, right? This happens in one big group. So each of the teams are checking on each other. They're working together, and security is part of the upfront planning, not an aftermarket, if you will, not an aftermarket add-on, which creates all kinds of problems.
I really like that. And I want to ask you a question about this. So this seems like a really great switch in mindset switch, and I think developers can probably really relate to always being at the end of that, that train, and all of a sudden the deadline's already backed up and they're asking to do something right at the end. And so, I'm sure that everybody has that sort of buy-in to this, new approach. What I'm wondering though is, so for somebody, we said a little bit earlier, and David mentioned we don't need to clean house and hire in a whole new DevOps team or DevSecOps team. But if somebody was starting to make this, to create this style of approach and methodology within their dev teams, op teams, and security teams, and so maybe they're starting a little bit earlier on in the process, or if they're bringing in new hires, is this changing who we look for in terms of skill sets? Are we now looking for people that have more integrated skill sets, more of a full stack of ops, security, and development? Or you can still kind of build your team as always, and it's all about the communication flow and the workflow processes?
David?
Yeah, I mean, I wrote a blog post a long time ago with a dinosaur graphic on it. It was titled "Evolve or Die," and it was targeted towards operations people who kind of get stuck in the mindset of like, oh, I just administer the storage. Oh, I just take care of the printers. I just do this, and to try to push them to elevate themselves to a higher level and think about all the different organizations and the technology as a whole and the business as a whole and what it takes to really deliver the applications that the company, depends on. And I kind of think that's what this idea is, these teams working together, dev and ops. Hey, what a great idea. What if we all work together? Why didn't I think of that? And DevSecOps, same thing. And I mean, if we think this is a good idea, it must be because, companies and groups have taken this acronym, combining this idea of people working together to whole new levels with, there's like IT ops, there's net ops, SecOps, data ops, AI ops, chat ops, no ops. There's all these different acronyms. What's your take, Keith?
No, I agree. The buzzword proliferation in the ops space is pretty profound, isn't it? There's no doubt about it. I think, Jess, you actually hinted at one of the big new skill sets that everyone involved needs to have. I don't know if it's so much as full stack development as it is soft communication skills. There has got to be interaction. You can't be just, writing code and not caring about how this has to be integrated into your deployment pipeline. The security team has to be brought in up front. That means you have to talk to them. It seems so basic, but it's one of the hardest things I think that companies find that there is to do, is to get these groups to work together, to talk to each other, and there can be a lot of territorialism in IT, as there can be in any part of any corporation. You want to hold on to what's yours. You want to protect what's yours. Well, the idea of DevOps and DevSecOps has to overcome that desire to protect what's yours and to realize, hey, this is a holistic thing. We're working for the good of the company. And when we all work together, that is when we will get the greatest return.
I love that. And I do think that those soft skills, we've been hearing about those more and more over the last couple of years. And I think that is the new full stack, is coming with that ability to communicate and to, have the understanding and empathy. I'm wondering, so that's a trend I'm excited about. I think that that's a cool thing for everyone in any industry, but certainly in the tech industry, seeing that emphasis on soft skills is a trend that I think is exciting and is only going to do good things for our teams, especially with these types of methodologies and approaches. I'm wondering if I can ask you guys, what are the trends going into 2023 for either DevOps or DevSecOps that you are excited about? And Keith, maybe we'll start with you, and then David, if you have anything to add.
Yeah, thanks, Jess. One of the big ones that's happening in the DevSecOps space is something called third-party risk management. Okay, this has become especially important. And what this means essentially is, so if you're a corporation of any size, your vendors, partners, contractors need access to your network and data, right? But very often you have little or almost no control over what these third parties are looking at, what they're doing. You don't know what kind of security hygiene, for example, these third parties who are now accessing your networks are using. An attacker can use one of these third parties' privileged accounts, for example, to breach a network and expose sensitive data. This came to the fore in 2020. We all remember the SolarWinds hack. Now, that happened as a result of their client organizations were infected. They were compromised, including government departments like Homeland Security, major tech companies, Microsoft and Cisco, because of their connection with SolarWinds and this vulnerability. So this is why it's crucial to develop strategies with third-party risk management. We're seeing more companies develop these risk management products which help guarantee that these third parties, that these partners who are working with you, that they meet certain minimum requirements, so they're going to be safe, and anything that's wrong with their stuff isn't going to get onto your stuff, to put it in the simplest terms.
Keep their stuff away from your stuff. I like that. David, any trend you're excited about moving into, well, I guess we're already well into, wow, this year is flying by, well into 2023. What are you excited about?
I'm mainly excited about just the continuous improvement of software, where it's more integrated, than ever before via API with other software applications, and more suites of software to make DevOps and DevSecOps easier for mid-level and smaller organizations.
Yeah, I think that is really key, especially because we do often underestimate, and I mentioned change management earlier, and a lot of what you guys have talked to us about today are these mindset shifts. David, you were talking about almost like that beginner mindset approach, and I think that we underestimate how hard that can be to implement. So it is really great that there's a lot of tools coming out and training materials available, and so many more resources so that you can help on all ends, the tools, the technologies, the workflows, the processes, and the mindset shifts that all need to kind of happen in conjunction to get to this really successful DevOps and DevSecOps. Keith, David, this has been such a great way to kick off this conversation today. I want to keep things rolling. We're going to head on over and chat with Keeper Security in just a moment here. But thank you so much for being here with us this morning. It's been a pleasure chatting with you both.
Thanks, Jess.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
All right, and you can see that now it is question time for all of you. And what we are wondering is, what is your time frame for adding new or updating existing IT solutions at your company? So obviously, chatting today about DevOps, DevSecOps, so that's kind of where we're hanging out. So are you thinking about making some of these changes and maybe some of those mindset shifts that we just heard David and Keith kind of chatting about? Is that something that you're looking to bring forward in the short term? Or are you thinking a little bit more in the long term? Or you're not really sure. It's just on the radar. I'm seeing a couple of high fives coming in. Jeffrey, thank you for that shout out. Russell as well. It sounds like Russell's a fan of the Phoenix Project. So again, that book that David was just suggesting to us, the Phoenix Project, is something good to check out if you've got some spring reading that you need to do. And Russell also says he's a big fan of Keeper. I love that. Okay, awesome. Well, speaking of Keeper, we're going to move on over to our presentation in just a moment here. So what I'm seeing from our poll is actually a pretty, wow, this is one of the most even result splits I've ever seen between all of them. So they're all roughly at about 20%. So you guys are really split across the board where you're at in terms of your planning phases right now. And that is cool. That means that we get to have a really interesting conversation that's going to try to hit as many of those points as possible wherever you're at in this planning phase. Well, speaking of which, let's get rolling with our expert presenter here. And I am very excited to introduce this next speaker. A few of you will remember having seen Jonathan with us before, so you'll know he definitely brings the energy with him. Our presenter today from Keeper Security is Jonathan Padilla, Solution and Sales Engineer. Jonathan, as always, so excited to talk to you. I can't wait to dig into this. We'll leave it as a bit of a surprise. We've got some fun coming for all of you. So I'm going to go get ready. I'm going to hand things on over to you, Jonathan.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Padilla. I'm a Solution and Sales Engineer here with Keeper Security. And today, we're going to be talking about DevOps and DevSecOps, tools that power the modern IT department. But first, I like GIFs. Hey, Jess, what's going on there? Why you all, what's happening? What's going on?
Jonathan, I mean, you told me that I was going to be playing some hockey, so I showed up ready to play some hockey, man.
That is true.
As I understand it, we're going to play some hockey here because we're giving away a prize to, or a gift card to everyone in the audience who signs up for a demo with Keeper Security today, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. That is correct. It's not just one. It's for everyone that's on this webinar today and schedules a demo with us. They will be getting a gift card individually.
I love that. And now here's where the fun part comes in. So I get to play for your gift card. So today you need to be cheering me on because I am earning you money. So I'm going to be trying to get some pucks into nets, and every goal that I make adds $10 to that gift card. So every goal I make is bringing that dollar value up that you will get when you sign up for that demo. So you need to be cheering me on. And I think we should probably play some hockey. What do you think, man?
I'm ready for this. I'm ready for that. But maybe not ready, but I'm going to try.
I feel like I got to do like yeah. No, I can't throw that helmet. All right. Well, let's, since we're playing some digital hockey, I need to be able to see here. So let's get this hockey screen up and going. We'll give it a little test run.
All right.
So here's how this goes. I'm going to shoot at the net. Every puck that I get in, you guys all get $10 added onto your gift card. Are you ready? Let's do this. All right. I'm going to go right. Ah! Stupid goalie. Okay. Let's try that one. Swipe. This game is harder than I thought. Swipe. What? How did I go out? Okay. Oh my goodness. Just one. Oh, yes.
That's $10.
$10 for all of you out there. Yes. I am a hockey master. Woo! All right. Well, I feel like I shouldn't push my luck any more than that. So let's get back into it, and I'll see you at the next period break.
All right. All right, man, that was fun. That was great, Jeff. That was $10 in the pocket there. We'll see you at the next session. We got 3 more quarters to go on this. Let's see if she can earn you some more. But first, what about the modern IT department? How it functions? There's a terminology I hear that gets thrown around a lot, and it's called PAM. What is PAM anyway? And I do want to read this verbatim. This is highly important. And so let's define PAM. So PAM refers to a comprehensive cybersecurity strategy comprising of people, processes, and technology. To do what, though? To do what? It's to control, monitor, secure, and audit all human and non-human actions and privileged identities that they're utilizing and activities across the entire enterprise. That's what PAM is. PAM is defined as that. PAM is not this product called PAM. And if there is one out there called PAM, then that's the one I'm getting. No, but really, we're going to get into PAM. And let's understand a PAM complexity report here in 2023. So 2023 PAM complexity report states out of 400 IT and security executives and their PAM solutions that 84 of them want to simplify their PAM solution. 68% of them pay for wasted features. Now, I know this all too well. In my last organization, I would get this product to cover this feature sets, and it has all other feature sets that I didn't need. And then I have to buy another product to then cover some other feature sets because this product didn't cover some feature sets. And all of a sudden, it's become disparate. I'm paying for separate platforms here and there to cover a strategy, my PAM strategy. Check this out. 85% require dedicated staff to manage and maintain this PAM platform. I'll state this, I'll be transparent. Open source is great. There's some great products out there, but one of the things I'm finding, and I found personally, is that, wow, the amount of time and staff it takes to manage, maintain, and secure those platforms. And that financial cost is heavy when you're paying for those dedicated resources. So let's look at this. So on average, IT teams only really use about 62% of their PAM functionalities. All right, that's not okay. I like the number to be at 100%, because on 100%, then that platform is falling into the user paradox adoption. Let's look at some other 5 benefits that IT leaders seek in a PAM solution. They want to monitor and manage privileged access, right, to systems, to applications, to web apps, whatever it may be, resources. Preventing data breaches. That's one of the biggest things. We want to prevent data breaches. In order to do that, you have to protect privileged credentials and accesses and information in general. All right, protecting against compromise, right? Privileged credentials. It's so easy for privileged credentials to be compromised. Very easy, even down to a high-level admin, just using credentials that's available to them in clear text, right? I can see the password. I can see the password. Me as an admin, doesn't matter how trustworthy I am, I can see the credential. That could lead to accidental breaches. For example, someone looking over my shoulder. I lost my laptop, and oh my God, I saved all my passwords there in clear text. And they also want to ensure that privileged user access is updated to prevent privilege creep. So privilege creep, right? I was in one role that had certain privileges, but now I moved to another role. There was a transition period, but for some reason, now I have 2 privileged accesses against me because I used to be in a previous role, but they never pulled that other role's access away from me. Privilege creep. That's bad. So let's look at this. In addition to the respondents, they wanted to simplify the solution in this manner. Easy to deploy. Yeah, that's kind of like a number one when I think about solutions in my organization. Is it easy to deploy? Because it's not, I don't know if I want to get into that. I don't have time for that right now. I don't have the staff for that right now. Easier to integrate into other systems. Like what, Jonathan? Well, naturally, a lot of organizations use stuff like Azure, Okta, OneLogin for their identities, right? An identity provider. So integrating into those identity providers with single sign-on SAML 2.0 to utilize their usernames and passwords to log in, and SCIM provisioning, system for cross-domain identity management. They want to see some cost savings. This is the nice thing when you can unify a platform. Some cost savings, right? I'm not paying for 3 separate pieces of software, 4, 5, or 6. It's one platform. Consolidated, right? Consolidated, one platform. That requires less staff. here. Oh, look at this. So Jess, it's time for you to make some more scores.
All right, so hockey break, period break, number 2. Period break number 2. We're at $10. I'm trying to add some more money for all of you out there. You are welcome. Hang on, this is safety first, guys, right? Okay. Let's do it. Oh, come on, that was totally in. What? Unacceptable. Yes. Yes. Goal number 2. Goal number 2. All right, I'm trying one more time. I think I've got time. Put me in, coach. Yes. Yes, that's 2 more. $30. $30 for all of you counting along at home, going towards your gift certificate when you sign up for a demo. Jonathan, back over to you.
Boy, that was a fun second period. I can't wait to see what third period brings us. Let's keep on moving on into this PAM space, this DevOps, DevSecOps, what they're looking for, what they're trying to simplify. What's the solution? Let's check out the solution. The solution is the unified next-gen PAM platform. And this is exactly what Keeper has to offer. Keeper's next-gen unified PAM platform enables institutions to get into that PAM space and have full visibility, security, and auditing over every aspect of the infrastructure. Not just infrastructure, but information, sensitive information, simple information. Information leads to more information. Okay, if you think your lowest end user, and if them getting breached is not going to lead to a bigger breach, it's completely wrong. It's completely wrong. So let's take a look at Keeper's unified next-gen PAM platform. Is it easy to use? Does it unify everything together? Is it cost effective? Let's check that out. Let's go over here. Let's look at traditional PAM solutions compared to Keeper's next-gen PAM solution. So cost prohibitive, right? We already talked about that, paying for a solution that you may not be using all the feature sets, and then so you're paying into other solutions to accomplish other things. It's difficult to provision. What I mean by that is you want to utilize this in your whole organization, but with 18,000 users, how are we gonna deploy this? How is this going to get out automatically to 18,000 users? It's difficult to use and inadequate. I'll tell you what, I utilize several PAM systems, and man, I love Shell, but man, Shell on a PAM system, it's like Shell equals hell. It's like, it's hard to use. Isn't there a solution that's just like, it's something a little bit easier to use? Maybe a nice interface where not just myself, but my junior DevOps team can get into. Last but not least, inadequate security. What do you mean by that? And so it takes a lot. It takes a lot of security, multiple security strategies to truly secure your solution that you're serving up on-prem. It's not just about firewalling, right? It's not just about firewalling. And it's not just about having an antivirus software on that system. So let's take a look at Keeper's PAM platform. We're going to dig in a little bit deeper to that. Cost effective, right? Fewer products to purchase. Keeper covers all of these strategies, one solution already without being disparate. And so cost effectiveness immediately kicks into play as you're only paying into one platform. Fast to provision. We integrate with identity providers. Any identity provider you can think of as far as SAML 2.0 goes, and skim provisioning for that automated provisioning. It's not so difficult anymore when automatically 18,000 users can get automatically created into the platform to get onboarded and utilize the system. Easy to use. Easy to use is highly important. An interface that's intuitive, an interface that is not going to fall into the user paradox adoption because it's hard to use. Right? GUI interfaces are great. Point and click is great, but if it's not intuitive, what's the point? Right? Let me not pass that one up. Pervasive visibility. It really does simplify auditing and compliance reporting against what people are utilizing in your organization. Right? You used to not have that type of visibility or auditing and reporting before because you had no control over this information and it was being used sporadically with no insights. Now you have full insights into what's going on in your organization, last but not least, world-class security. So Keeper is a true zero trust, zero knowledge platform. And we have our compliances as well as we'll get into. that regulates all encryption key management at the client end. So client and key management, the client device, your user device, your cell phone that you're naturally, even just as a regular end user, using Keeper, just logging into Keeper, sharing information on their desktops, phones, wherever it may be. Naturally, that security model is there by just the end user utilizing the platform. End user security, cryptology, and security is there. Okay. Let's take a look at what PAM addresses, right? What key points does PAM address? And a lot of these, or a lot of organizations are faced with, even away from the full PAM scope. Oh, password management, well, passwords getting breached. Right? Single sign-on security, that's important. Sharing of passwords, oh boy, that scares me. You definitely want some insights to that for compliancy and auditing reasons. Right? These are key pain points that every single institution, whether you're an SMB shop over to a Fortune 5000 shop, you know these are the things you deal with. So let's check out Keeper's unified PAM solution. 3 platforms encompassing in one system to create that PAM strategy, right? That PAM strategy. So Keeper Enterprise Password Manager, our EPM, right? I love it. It enables your organization to protect, share, discover information, and keep it protected and controlled, and allows the administrators to finally automate auditing and compliances on how it's going to utilize. Secrets management, right? That gets a little bit deeper. Protecting CI/CD command pipelines like Ansible, Jenkins, GitHub Actions, or GitLab Actions, whatever you're utilizing. Right? Secrets management is important to obscure that information, to ensure that it's not in clear text. One of the things that drive me nuts is in the past when I'm working with files, that information like usernames or passwords are in clear text inside of a config file, for example, which is like scary to me. If that system gets breached and that information's in clear text, we're done. We're breached. Now, Keeper Connections Manager, I love this. One of the biggest strategies and pain points for any organization is, how do I allow rather regular users or administrators and DevOps and SecOps to access systems and platforms, our entire infrastructure for that matter, in a secure, compliant, conformed fashion, without the need of VPN, right? Without the need of VPN is a true statement, because how the platform functions. Keeper's PAM encompasses all of these 3 platforms to accomplish those cybersecurity strategies you're trying to cover without being disparate, without paying into separate platforms. Let's take a look at the 2 spectrums here. This is the end user side, and this is the SecOps, DevOps side. Let's just take a look at the natural use of the end user side. End users in your organization as a whole, you guys utilize an identity provider, Office 365, aka Azure, and so better stated. Okta, Ping, OneLogin, JumpCloud, those identity providers. It's important that we can integrate with those platforms that you're using in an organization, so your users can still use the same username and password they have to log into their computers, to log into their cloud environments, such as Office, as well as to log into Keeper as well, and keeping them from having multiple credentials and keeping track of that to get access to the information. So SAML enabled, that's awesome. Your users will love you for that. It simplifies their life, and when you simplify their life, a platform becomes a little bit easier to use, and it doesn't fall into the user paradox option. All right, so password management. This is the natural use of passwords that your end users want to utilize, whether logging into a web application or a desktop application. Right, your organization is trying to enforce long, strong, unique passwords, 20 characters on up. We won't remember those. I won't even remember those. So let's have that EPM, that password management system, remember that for us, have it stored in there in a secure fashion where we can utilize it and now share it in a secure fashion amongst users and our team. Let's get on to the SecOps, DevOps side. Secrets management, right? You guys know that all too well. The ones that know this stuff, Jenkins, GitHub, Terraform, that HashiCorp stuff, that's true infrastructure stuff. And you know just as well as I know, if any one of your configuration files or CI/CD command pipelines get breached and that information sitting in clear text, it's going to lead that cyber criminal to more information, deeper into your systems and your infrastructure. Okay, forget trying to go after your end users. Now I got access to your information, to your code, your SDK. Important to keep that with secrets manager, keep it protected. Connections manager, connecting RDP sessions. You know, you guys do that all the time. SSH, heavy on that. Wait, and real quick, when was it okay to save SSH keys local on your device in the .ssh directory? You know, cyber criminals can easily get access to that directory, grab those keys, look at your known host file. Well, you already know what's about to happen. Protecting those connections are important, and Keeper Connections Manager does just that. Protect the credentials and share the connections out to critical systems, information, and infrastructure in a secure, compliant, secretive fashion, right? Connections without, apologies about that, connections without your end users knowing what that information is or those credentials. Now on the admin side, I love this. On the admin side, security auditing. This is where that reporting and auditing compliancy comes into play. Having full insights onto what's going on in your organization, who's using what, when, where, why, and how. Whether it's a user or a machine or a system or a code or SDK or a script. Full insights into what's going on at every single given day, time, location, IP address. Gets deep. Let's keep on going here. Oh, look at this. Round 3. So Jess, it's time for you to make some more scores.
All right. We are ready for period break number 3, and we are at $30 for all of you lovely folks counting along at home. $30 to anyone who signs up for a Keeper Security demo. I'm going to see if I can get you a few more dollars on that gift card. Let's get ready. Ready. Go. I hope you are all cheering me on at home here. This is very hard to see, and I don't know if anyone's ever tried to operate a computer with a hockey helmet on. Oh, come on. Goalie. What? Yes! 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 You are welcome. That is $40 coming at you in your gift card from Keeper Security when you sign up for a demo. Jonathan, we've got one more break. I think we're going to do some overtime because I want to try to get a few more dollars on that gift card. But for now, back on over to you.
Oh, at least you got one goal. That brings us up to $40. $40 thus far on this gift card. That's pretty good. That's pretty good if I say so myself. Let's keep on digging through this discovery. Credential rotation. So PAM, one of the biggest things with PAM and these cybersecurity strategies is rotation of credentials. Making that easy. Why? Maybe you're dealing with multiple systems, hundreds of systems, virtual machines, physical machines, Azure accounts, Active Directory accounts, SQL accounts. I mean, credentials and password rotations, that is it's the bane of my existence. It's horrendous. It really is. It's horrendous. So Keeper PAM makes credential rotation easy. And I love this. I absolutely love password rotations. This alleviates my life and my end user's life as well. My DevOps, especially, our life cycles here. Check it out. Something that's not so cumbersome to install. We don't want to mess with firewall rules. You know how many times I want to implement a system where it's like, okay, in order to do this, you have to have this static IP address or a netted, port forwarded firewall rules on over to the system over here. And it's just like insane. And you have to install this agent and connect up. I start wondering, am I really securing things here? Am I really securing things here? Am I doing what I'm doing right now? Is it just causing me more of a security risk? So especially those agents, memory leaks, holes, we don't believe in that here at Keeper. So we do make it easy. We make it very low impact to implement. We have no agents. There's no need to open up external ports. Command line tools and scripting is not needed. Again, shell is hell. It can be. That's cool if you can do it, but what if it was just easier? Now you can do it, and now your junior admins can do it. And hey, you can enable people now. You can enable people. Do you hear what I'm saying? Enabling people in security. This is how we accomplish security. Enabling so you don't fall again into the paradox adoption, user paradox adoption. Right. We can rotate on-premise or cloud credentials. It doesn't matter what's going on. And we have very flexible rotation actions. For example, scripts that run post a password rotation. Let's get a little insight. Let's get an insight to this. So this is the vault you're looking at. And this is considered a PAM credential that can get utilized to rotate a credential against Barbara Dillard. All right, that's her username. Password. Rotation button right there. Isn't that cool? A little rotation. You know how many times like people like, hey man, not just for the admins. What about the end user? Is there something my end user can click on? Rotate a credential, something easy, a self-service portal or something. And so that's really nice. I love that interface. It's just easy. There's no command lines going on. There's no scripting. And when this rotation happens, what do we have yet again? We're going to get reporting on that. The user did this against which credential at which day, which time. Let's keep on looking at this. I love this. Complex. You can make the credential complex and enforce complexities. Make it long, strong, and unique. Rotate it on a scheduled basis. I love this. I didn't have to script this in cron tab or systemd or Windows Task Scheduler. It's right here. It's right here for the having. Now, this is important. Now, when we're thinking about utilizing such a platform, and here we are stressing about security, it's important that the platform you're utilizing complies to some audits and compliances as well. And I am happy to state that Keeper is SOC 2 Type 2 and ISO 27001 certified and compliant. We're Fed ramped and state ramped. And that is awesome. We've been working hard at that. HIPAA compliant, GDPR compliant. That falls into a lot of spaces, if you ask me. PCI DSS level 1, trustee, right? We got, FIPS 140-2 validations. We utilize FIPS 140-2 validated modules, right? EU-US Privacy Shield. We are compliant through and through. If anyone wants to know more about our compliances, please, again, schedule that demo. Schedule that demo with us. Get a mutual NDA going. We're going to give you our SOC 2 report. We're going to give you our attestation report, because it's not okay for companies to say there's zero knowledge, there's zero trust, they're compliant. We need to certify that. Last but not least, we're going to give you our third-party pen test reports. And let's keep on digging through here. Overtime. What's this? I'm going to give Jess one last time to make you guys a little bit more money for this gift card before you schedule that demo with us, so you can check some things out on our side. Let's see what we can do here, Jess.
All right, here we are in OT time, and that means I have one more chance to get all of you $10 more on your gift card from Keeper Security when you sign up for a demo. And remember, that is for everyone here in the audience today. Everyone here with us who signs up for a demo will get this gift card. Not just one person. It's not a raffle. This is a gift for everyone. This is really hard to see out of. Who thought of hockey helmets as an idea in the workplace? This is not safe workplace gear. Ready? Yes. Okay. So I hope that you are all cheering me on at home. I can feel all those positive vibes coming through the screen right now. Let's see if I can get you guys one more $10 bump added to your gift certificate. What? Oh, I got it on the first try. First try. OT shot. Yes. I am the hockey master. You guys are all getting $50. $50 as a gift card when you sign up for your demo. That is awesome. Jonathan, I am pumped up. This has been such a great day. I'm going to hand things back on over to you. I got to go take a victory lap or something.
That's super awesome. That brings this gift card up to, $50? Hey, that's not bad. How many people are on this call? I don't even want to do the calculation. I'm not even going there. Forget it. But anyway, I urge you guys to schedule a demo and check out our platform. I think you guys will think it's awesome. Anywhere from the basic password management for your end users, all the way up to secrets management, connections manager for any DevOps, DevSecOps environment. You're trying to find a way. If you're trying to find a way to cover your cybersecurity strategies, and you're just feeling like everything seems so disparate, please reach out for a demo. We would love to provide you a demo, go into trial, do a proof of concept to see if this platform is for you.
All right, man. Sorry, I had to go put my hockey helmet down because I can't see the screen when I'm playing hockey. That was so much fun. Oh my gosh. I told you folks, I love Keeper. They always bring the energy. Jonathan always brings the energy. And man, who doesn't love a good hockey break? That was great. I appreciated getting some tips from the audience as well. Definitely saw some folks with some pointers on how to beat the AI goalie. So that's amazing. I'm going to go ahead. I saw a few people asking about the link. I'm going to post the link again for you all right now. So let me just get that out there. Perfect. Okay. So if you missed that earlier, this is the link for you to get your demo. So it's www.keeper.io/goal. Pretty simple. So it's in the little questions box there for you as well. But www.keeper.io/goal. So be sure that you sign up for your demo because as you recall, I just got you all $50 from Keeper Security when you sign up for that demo. So make sure you sign up. All right. Well, amazing. What a good time. I'm leaving that poll up just a little bit longer here. And the question that we have for you is what additional information would you like to get about the Keeper Security solution? So obviously, Jonathan was giving us kind of a bit of an intro and there's a lot more to learn here, lots to dig into. So make sure that you take a little time right now, click on that poll, let Keeper Security know how they can follow up with you. All right, I'm also going to recommend that you head over to the handouts tab. Make sure you get the Keeper Security data sheet, Keeper Enterprise Password Management, EPM platform. Protect your organization against cyber threats with a zero trust, zero knowledge enterprise password management solution. So this is all of what we were just talking about. It's a perfect follow-up to what we just heard from Jonathan, looking at preventing breaches and reducing those help desk costs. And of course, ensuring compliance, that all important one. So make sure that you've got that data sheet downloaded and take a look at that after we wrap today. You've got a couple of reading recommendations from David and now here from Keeper Security as well. Boy, I am loving seeing all the positivity coming in from you folks. It seems like everybody got some good information out of the session today. Oh, I see another request for the link. So I'm going to post that again. I'll just keep that coming. Okay. Awesome. Well, with that, I think we're going to have to bring it home. I kind of just want to keep playing hockey. Oh, no, you know what? I have more good news for you all. I have a prize. I have several prizes. The fun just keeps coming. Okay, so we're going to give away three $300 Amazon gift cards all at once. So this is totally separate. There are no hockey goals involved in this. You just 3 people getting a gift card each. So you don't even have to earn it. These gift cards, if you are here live and present with us at the EcoCast, are going to Robert McDaniel of Texas. Robert McDaniel of Texas. Daniel Buchanan. I don't know why I couldn't say that. Daniel Buchanan of Oklahoma. And Cesar Torres of Wisconsin. I love that Wisco crew. All right, so Robert McDaniel of Texas, Daniel Buchanan. I really can't say that last name today. Buchanan of Oklahoma and Cesar Torres of Wisconsin. You have each one a $300 Amazon gift card. We will follow up with you. Now, keep in mind, we also have that best question card from our session today, from each of our sessions, from our session today, which means that if you asked a question, you are entered to win that best question gift card. So I saw some great questions coming in. And I know Jonathan and I decided we were going to use all of our time today to play the game and go through the presentation. So we're not going to stop for the live Q&A. But Adrian and the Keeper Security team have been here on live chat. So they're answering as many questions as they can get to on live chat. And any questions that we don't get to, we will make sure get to the Keeper Security team so that you are able to get those follow-ups and get the answers. Oh, I love this. Diane says the presentation was a fun and a good stress buster. That's awesome. That's the best thing I could hear. I'm glad that we've been able to take a little bit of stress out of everyone's days here today. All right. Well, with that, I think we're going to have to bring things to a close here, which is a bummer. Like I said, I wish we could just hang out and keep having good times today. But hopefully this has just started your day out on a great note or given you a good afternoon break and you are keeping the good times rolling. Speaking of good times, if you would like to come and join us, join the actual tech media team, on one of these presentations of MegaCast and EcoCast and Panelcast, DemoCast. Boy, we have a full stack of options for you. Reach out to us at connect@actualtechmedia.com and we can get that rolling for you. And I think that's about all I have for you folks. So I will remind you all to come back and join us again on Wednesday, April 26th. We have an EcoCast Best Practices for Maximizing Data Security. Again, that's Wednesday, April 26th at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And we're going to dig into some of this data security, the trends and tips and what we're seeing work really well and some fun use cases. So it's going to be a great chat. So be sure to join us for tomorrow and we'll have that conversation. And with that, on behalf of the Actual Tech Media team, I really want to thank Jonathan and the Keeper Security team for not only making this EcoCast possible, but for not making me eat any more Jelly Bellies. I am absolutely thrilled that I did not have to do the Jelly Belly game again. Thank you so much for not doing that. And really enjoyed hanging out with all of you guys today as well. I love all the good vibes and the comments and the happy faces and the high fives coming from all of you. And really, that is what we're here to do. We want to learn some interesting things and we want to have a little fun while we do it. So I'm glad that that's been the case for all of you today. I hope that you've all gotten some really interesting ideas and tips from Keeper Security, from Jonathan here today, from David and Keith earlier in our keynote. I hope maybe you're feeling a bit more informed or better equipped to tackle some of these challenges that you're seeing in your organization and maybe making that shift to that DevOps approach and the DevSecOps approach within your teams. So a reminder again to come back and join us tomorrow. And I hope that I get to chat with you all again soon. Until then, I hope you all have an absolutely beautiful rest of your afternoon. Go play some hockey. Bye all.